friends, and happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm in a wee bit of technical difficulties here this evening, so let me know if you can see me and hear me. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see and hear me. And of course, somebody will say if they can't see or hear me, I guess. Maybe you can't hear me. If you can't see me, you might not know you can't see me. I'm just going to wait for that to happen because I don't have any video feedback right now. I can't tell if I'm live or not. And apparently there's a large, getting thumbs up. Thank you, Patrick. All right, so all seems to be good. Thank you, James. And yeah, sorry about that. I got a little tied up trying to get some things set up here, and then all of a sudden YouTube did something to me. I like to pop out the chat. It's just easier for me to read it if I do that. And sometimes I can do that and have the other screen show me, but tonight I just could not, for some reason, get the video back centered on the other. Anyway, we're here now. It's all good. So great to see so many folks assembled already. I will be saying hello to you all in just a moment, but to get things started, I have the Matches Memorial Friday Sabanelli, and it is filled with Haunted Bookshop, as is the tradition here on the Friday night live stream. And we will be choosing tobacco of the month this evening, so looking forward to that. But let's see who we have thus far assembled here, and it's quite a crowd already. It's good to see all you guys. Stephen Hepst, news update, Matches Channel's back, and Sunbear 2025 release is being teased. How about that? There's David G. Good to see you, David. Paul Rapp. Gary Edminster. Big Dave. Big Dave with the #1 crown tonight. How about that? Still don't know what that means. Oh, and Gary's #3. Who's #2? Oh, strange things are happening here. I didn't even know I could increase the size of the font. I just dramatically increased the size of the font. I could read it from the other side of the basement now, which is okay. Let's see, Rob Link, pondering with Pepe's pipes. Montana sunshine might turn on a dime, indeed. Bona Piper, Christian, great to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Flint Hill Briar. Martina Lamb, hello Martina, nice to see you. Type Patrick Grant. Ghost Rider. Signal Man Tony from Rhode Island. Codger Jim, the Smooth Piper. Good evening to you, Peter. And let's see, James Steidle. I think we might. There's Patrick. I got Patrick Grant already. Dan Falcone or Falcone. Which do you prefer, Dan? Steve Stazak. Doug Owen. Hello there, Doug. Matthew Geese. Good to see you, Matt. Bear Wolf and Miss Kathy. Great to see you guys tonight. And I think we may be all caught up. Bob Kraus. I think we're all caught up. I apologize if I missed you. And who's the guy that always thinks I missed him because he starts with the ellipsis? No, I can't remember his name. That's going to make him even more angry. Creator of the Boundless Universe. How about that? After just talking about the MASH movie last week, it just went off about 10 minutes ago. How about that? Well, it makes sense given the news, I suppose, with Loretta Swit and all, but yeah. Haunted Bookshop is good this evening. And yeah, it's been a fairly good week. Phil Rivera, how you doing, Phil? Nothing too, but I digress. Thank you, Patrick. Yes. Hello, but I digress, just in case you're there. He always gets mad at me because I miss him. Wait, his name looks like it's part of somebody else's comment. And at the beginning, I'm just scanning through looking for names, so. But it's now hot here. We've got our air conditioning on for the first time. It's been in actually mid-80s today, so that was something. The rain finally stopped. We got a little bit of rain this afternoon, just a sprinkling. But I actually had to water the garden for the first time since Mother's Day. So that was something. Father and son plumbing team just left after replacing the water heater. Well, I hope that was a good experience, Phil. Those things can go either way. Um, Obviously, they can go either way in general, but the father and son teams, sometimes that's great, sometimes it's not so great. Uh, yes, Sally Kellerman, Big Dave. We did mention her last week, I believe, and she played Hot Lips in the Mesh movie. Indeed. Patrick Grant's got Haunted Bookshop in his Friday Sabanelli as well. Fantastic. It's good now. Fantastic, Phil. Glad to hear it. So I had a huge shock. Well, not a shock, but a disappointment. There's a service station. It's a Monroe Auto Center, but the guys that work there were fantastic. It was like having a local mom and pop shop because I knew them well. One guy was a neighbor of mine. They really did good work, and they were honest with me. They'd say, you need this, but maybe not yet, and they'd give me a break on things when they thought it was unfair that they were having to charge this much because they only worked for 10 minutes or whatever. So anyway, I went over there last night because I wanted them to look at a tire, and they're closed. They shut it down. They say they moved, but they didn't move. They're just consolidating. They apparently shut down like 40 of them in the state, and that's a huge disappointment to me because it's close enough to my house that I could drop my car off and walk home. And it's really a pain when you have to drop it off and then get a ride back. It's much easier to just be able to walk. So I'm disappointed in that. Flint Hill back from the 100-mile unbound gravel race. How did it go, Flint Hill? I'm sure you came in first. Algonquin Breyer, hello. Happy Friday to you, sir. Does anyone know if we lost tobacco reviews as creator of the Boundless Universe? Not that I'm aware of. This happens once in a while. I don't think it was lost, though. As I'm about to try to find tobacco reviews here, I see a message. You know who sent me that message. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. Uh, how do I find tobacco reviews? What's going on here? Yes, it's the fascinating section of the show where Mike tries to use his cellular telephone. I've decided I'm going to call him that from now on. Just to date myself. Tobacco reviews. It seems to be active for me. Well, I don't think we lost it. Doug says it was down for maintenance, but it's fine as of yesterday. Okay, I haven't used it in a while, so. But it's working now. Now, there were some issues where some countries are blocking it. That's a different problem altogether. But here in the US, it is up. So Pepe is watching with his friend Dr. Broomstick. Dr. Boomstick, okay. And he loves tobacco as much as you. Well, that's fantastic. Yes, Ghost Rider, that's a good point. If you're outside of the US and use a VPN, you'll be able to see tobacco reviews, yes. There's the occasional play piper. Good to see you tonight. I need a beverage, and I stopped at the beer distributor here in Pennsylvania. Yeah, we go to beer distributors. You can actually buy beer lots of places here now. It's not like it used to be, but I still go to the beer distributor because they got a good selection. Uh, and I actually wound up, I was looking at all sorts of things, but I wound up a bit of a blast from the past. I have not had this in probably about 20 years, but I used to drink a lot of this back when I was a graduate student, and it's Killian's Irish Red. I actually haven't seen it in a while. I thought they might have stopped making it. Um, so that's what I'm having tonight. We'll get out our Japanese hand plane bottle opener and open up the bottle. Constant vigilance indeed, Doug. The only way we're gonna, and even that may not work, but at least we'll know we tried. Yeah, I used to drink a lot of this. It was very popular when I lived in Pittsburgh. And there was a bar in walking distance. So I was living, a friend of mine, a fellow grad student, owned a house with his wife, and they had an attic apartment that they rented out to me. So I lived in their attic. Uh, sounds funny, but it was an apartment. And there was a bar that was maybe 2 blocks from the house. Mm, that was good. I haven't had that in a long time, and it really takes me back. Black Butte Porter from Bend, Oregon. Sounds nice, Phil. So, yeah, they had when pipe tobacco is banned, only pipe tobacco smokers will have pipe tobacco. That somehow makes sense to me, Doug. But if I think about it too hard, it doesn't. So anyway, we used to go to this bar on Monday night for Monday Night Football, and they had a special. It was like pitchers of Killian's for $5 or something. Now, keep in mind, this was back in uh, 1992, something like that. And so we would go through several pitchers, and we would then kind of stumble back to his house after the game. But it was a lot of fun. But I digress. Hello there. What gives it that soapy? LJ Peretti's ampersand flake. That soapy, that LJ Peretti topping is almost certainly Tonkin bean. I don't think Peretti does anything with your tongue. Big Dave, I was exactly like Fonzie living above the Cunningham's garage. Exactly. There's basically no difference between us. So anyway, we're sitting. So I had, for some reason, I had to go to the health services thing and fill out a questionnaire. I can't remember what it was for. But they have this questionnaire, and then a nurse goes over it with you. It might have been like they might have been giving me $10 to be in a study or something. I don't know. And I did this thing, and I'm telling this friend of mine as we're sitting at the bar for Monday Night Football before the game starts. I'm telling him the story of filling out the form, and I said they had on it, how many times do you go into a bar per week? And I filled it out honestly. And the nurse looked over the form, and she looked up at me and she said, do you have a problem with alcoholism? And I said, no. And she said, are you sure? And she said, this is confidential. If you're an alcoholic, we can talk about it. And so I'm telling my friend this. And he said, that's crazy. Why would anybody think that? And I said, well, yeah, if you think about it. No, I left something out of the story. Right across the street from our lab, there was a hotel that had a bar in it. And they had a happy hour every night where you could get food for $1. You got a plate, and it was all the food you could fit on your plate. And they would have theme nights. So it'd be wing night or Mexican night or whatever. And we went over there almost, well, pretty much every night. And we would, of course, get beer. So he said, that's crazy. I mean, I said, well, when you think about it, we pretty much go to a bar every day. And he said, no, we don't. That's ridiculous. No, we don't. We're just here now. And I said, okay, where were we last night at this time? He said, oh, yeah, we were there. I said, can you think of the last day that we did not go to a bar? And he's sitting there, he's just staring up into space, and he turns and looks back at me and says, oh my God, we're alcoholics. Now, we weren't, and I don't mean to make light of it, but it was just kind of shocking because it just becomes sort of a routine part of your life, and you don't realize how frequently you're doing something like that. We didn't overindulge except for Monday Night Football night. We tended to over-imbibe a bit there because it was cheap and we were young. But for the one where we'd go in the evenings, because we go back to work after that, we'd go over there just to get dinner, and we'd have a beer and then go back. So, yes, it was 7 days a week, Gary. Yes. I was a bad fellow back then. I gotta see if I can change the font size, because I can only see like 2 messages at a time here. But I have no idea how I increased it. But I hate to play around with it too much. Doing that. I would have thought that would do it, but it's not. Okay, I'm not gonna play with it. Just adjust your perception of the rest. Indeed, Phil. Indeed. Yeah, recognition is the first of the 12 steps. Yes, I know. And it's funny, I've gone through, well, I've told you, I don't, I think I've got a weird thing with alcohol and with nicotine. I mean, nicotine doesn't affect me at all. Alcohol, I obviously will feel drunk, but I don't get hangovers. I mean, even back in the day when I clearly drank too much, I'm not proud of that, but it did happen. I'd wake up the next morning and just go to work like nothing had happened. And people that were with me couldn't understand it. They were mad at me because how could I possibly be doing that? But yes, it's good to have a daily bar in your house, Doug. Indeed. God save the self-righteous. Beer with a Big Mac. My goodness. My goodness. College years were a great time, Creator. Indeed. Yeah, we got to keep Mushroom Leg from being number 1 tonight. That would be a problem. But if Doug Owen gets himself a crown, I've got a treat for him. Oh, that's not nice, Gary. I do, honestly, I try to be very careful when I tell stories like that, because I know there are people that struggle with it, and I don't ever want to make light of it. I think it's a dangerous thing, and I'm just thankful that it's never affected me, and that I've always been able to just, decide not to drink. NFL is something to occupy oneself between baseball seasons. I agree 100%, Doug. In fact, Doug, that just got you this. Where is it? Did that work? That didn't work, did it? That was a big build up for nothing. Let's try that again.
Oh, I'm a teller 9 to 5. I've worked in several banks. Politeness is my specialty. Yes, please, of course, and thanks. Now, if Wadham wishes, no, I'll do it right away. Oh, but Saturday afternoon at the game, this is what I say. Shut your neck, you dirty mug, and kill the rotten dog. And belt the rat bag in the lug, pass the can of grog. And kick his head in and smash his face and clobber him till he dies. The ump is blind, he ought to be shot. Give us a couple of boys. Now look at that righteous clergyman, the good book is his creed. He'd never say a sinful word or do a sinful deed. In the pulpit every Sunday, the verses he will sing. But Saturday afternoon at the match, it's quite a different thing. Ah, shut your neck, dirty mug, and kill the rotten dog, and belt the rat bag in the lug, and pass me a can of glue, and kick his head in and smash his face and clobber him till he dies. The umpy's blind, he ought to be shot. Hey, give us a couple of pies. I'd say, hey chaps, how long is a pair of football shorts? It's
Okay, assuming that worked, that's probably about as much of that as we can take. Could you hear that? Because I saw Doug say he lost his voice. I'm hoping you could hear that. Couch, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you tonight. Oh, they can copyright strike me all they want, Phil. I don't care. Oh, I'm sure you're related in some way, Doug. Mrs. Pepe is dancing and said Irish. Well, that's wonderful, Pepe. Maybe some night we'll play the whole song. And I'd really like to find the album. Hey, Cole, Big Country Briar, how you doing, buddy? Doug, I hear your Mr. Tambourine Man is something special. Yeah. You know, if you want, we can have you come back on some night, and you could do a concert for us. I'll even buy a soundboard for that. Rick Spence, 5 tornadoes this morning. My goodness, Rick. Hope all is safe there. You got suspended from YouTube for saying that word, Phil? I don't want to say it now. I mean, that's ridiculous. Ron Hardcrackers, hello. Good to see you tonight. I mean, why would that word be? I mean, I know the word means something other than that, but why would it be a banned word? I mean, even if I understand it in its context, in the context they're assuming, it doesn't seem that bad. Martina Lamb found a new favorite Briarwork Smokehouse. Not familiar with that one, Martina. Now, see, Cole has been here for like 3 minutes and he's made one comment and he's got a crown, number 3 crown. How is that possible? No offense, Cole. I mean, you know, I don't want to question your royalty, but I just don't understand how these crowns work. Doug, I will listen to your Mr. Tambourine Man. You just can never do a Mr. Bojangles. That would make me unhappy. Crown achievement, yes. Ooh, 12-string guitar. There you go. Yeah, Phil, I remember that. I remember how they. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Who sang Mr. Bojangles? I do not remember either. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people covered it. I remember seeing Sammy Davis Jr. sing it once. Not live. Apparently, you are special, Cole. That singer dude. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. There you go. Oh, and of course, the best version of Mr. Bojangles that you will ever hear. And if you have not heard this, I want you to actually leave the live stream and go and find it on YouTube and listen to it and then come back. The best version of Mr. Bojangles is, of course, the William Shatner version. Yeah, Cole, I don't think I can. I have no control over it. Let's see. I could put you in timeout. I wonder what that does. Should we put Cole in timeout just to see what happens? Break Piper Skip. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you tonight. Well, that's historically inaccurate, Flint Hill. You should write a a complaint letter. Yep, William Shatner, indeed. No, Phil, it's a joy. It's really worthwhile. It's hilariously funny. Um, there you go, Ron. You gotta be careful. You know what, Patrick? I might be thinking of Mr. Tambourine Man. Maybe I made a mistake there. It might have been Mr. Tambourine Man and not Mr. Bojangles. I apologize. I think I got that mixed up. Uh, Now, if Shatner does do a version of Mr. Bojangles, I'm sure it's wonderful. But I think it was his version of Mr. Tambourine Man. And I think what we should do some night. Yeah, we're gonna get a copyright strike, but I think we should have Shatner's version of Mr. Tambourine Man, followed immediately by Doug Owen's version of Mr. Tambourine Man, and we'll do like a battle of the bands type thing. Illinois is raising tobacco taxes. I don't know if we have anyone here. Blue collar pipe smoker would be, but I don't think he's here tonight. You know, of all the instruments to sing a song about, Mr. Tambourine Man. I mean, could that really be all that? I mean, would you really want a guy with a tambourine to play a song for you? Ah, Rob's in the People's Republic of Illinois. Yeah. Slightly better off than California, huh? Oh, I remember that song, Phil. I remember that well. Big Dave, I did not know that you were originally from Illinois. Better than Mr. Cowbell, man. You got a point there, Dan. You got a point there. Of course, sometimes you do need more cowbell. It's about a junkie? Who's the junkie? The guy that wants the tambourine man to play the song, or the tambourine man himself? Oh, so the man that wants the song is a junkie. Okay. Gary, if ever there was a need for more cowbell, you nailed it. Mr. Trampoline Man. Doug, I sincerely did not know that Mr. Tambourine Man was about the mind of a junkie. This is the first I've ever heard that. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Dylan to write that kind of song. Certainly not at that time. You know, Big Dave, I was going to say what it needs is more cowbell and fewer cows, but I thought I'd get in trouble for that. So, but you kind of indicated it there. That's scary, Rob. Dr. Boomstick, you love playing piano. That's fantastic. Multiple aunts listening to Bob Dylan and four sisters singing Mr. Tambourine Man. Wow, that's some memory, Pepe. Number two crown, Pepe. I don't know, Doug, that doesn't really say drugs to me. That just says 60s hippie stuff, which I guess could be synonymous with drugs. I don't know. I think it's a jump from that to a junkie. And Dylan was notorious, it still is notorious, for refusing to tell you what the songs are about. And I think that's because he doesn't know. I like Dylan. I'm not, but I don't think most of his songs make any sense. Take me disappearing through the smoke rings of my mind. Doug, I don't see that that's a junkie. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Cole. Frankenstein Unchained. That's beautiful. Cole sent me some pictures. They were, was it Universal, Cole? I can't remember, but they had a monster theme park and looked like a lot of fun. Well, guys, I have finished my haunted bookshop. You know what that means. What happened on the 3rd of June musically? Uh, Jim, I have no idea, but based on what we've been talking about, I'm just going to guess that it was Bob Dylan going electric. Am I right? Am I right? It's a complete guess. Ciao, Danny. Good to see you tonight. Rad Dog 2020. How's it going, buddy? Thank you, Danny. Isn't today the anniversary of D-Day? Is it? It's the feast day of Saint Norbert, if anybody cares. That's something. Yeah, but what was the date, Doug? Was it June 3rd by any chance? June 6th is D-Day. Thank you, Gary. 81 years ago. Wow. It is ironic, but I digress. You know, Tom Petty, I never liked Tom Petty. Um, not I just it never really resonated with me. And then after he passed away, I started to appreciate him a lot more. This is often the case, I suppose. I'm still not a huge fan or anything, but I give him more credit than I used to. No, I know. Well, I didn't know. I had forgotten, I'm sure that D-Day was June 6th, but what was June 3rd was the question. And I was thinking maybe it was the. Oh, Jim, what happened on June 3rd? Just tell us. 1 PS. How you doing, buddy? Oh, Paul, congratulations. You showed that fly. It was worth the wait, wasn't it? How quickly we forget indeed, David. Indeed. So, we're going to choose the tobacco of the month because it is the first Friday in June. And I hope somebody got the little joke I put on the title card. It made me laugh when I wrote it. We've got an interesting selection this evening. 3 very different tobaccos. Cole, that is really cool. I mean, I would have only enjoyed the Universal Studio one, but It's really cool that they have it. Oh, Peter, I did go through it fast. What can I say? With how much time have we been going here? No, it's been 40 minutes. Come on. Not that fast. My usual. Ode to Billy Joel. Oh, is it the day that Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge? It was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. Yes, yes. Yes, now I got it. Thank you, Jim. That took me a while. It's a good song. Alrighty. Tobacco of the month. We got 3 to choose from here in no particular order, and we will do the poll, so don't vote until the poll goes up because your votes aren't going to get counted. Danny wants to know how many bowls I have in an average day. Danny, there really aren't average days anymore. If I'm working from home and I can smoke all day, I might do somewhere between 6 and 8. If I'm commuting to work and I can't smoke while I'm in work, it's probably closer to 34, something like that. 3 or 4, not 34. Creator said something William F. Buckley-esque. I have to go back and find that. Oh, that is Buckley-esque. Yes. Jeffrey Feinberg, howdy there. It's 3 feet off the water, so Billy Joe had a pretty good jump. That's funny. Okay, let's get the tobacco of the month rolling here, because depending on which one you pick, I might have my work cut out for me. So number 1, this should be fun. This is from 2020. I cannot remember who sent me this, but some kind person sent this to me, and I thanked them for it. I wish I could remember, but it is some Galwith and Harga Black Irish Twist. So that's going to be one of the tobaccos on the list. Again, you'll get a poll, you'll get to vote in the poll. You don't have to remember numbers or anything. Black Irish Twist from 2020. Tobacco the second will be some beautiful Cornell and Deal Shandygaff from 2015. If you're not familiar with these, Shandygaff is mostly burley with some other stuff. Interesting in that it has a sour, salty sort of flavor to it that, yeah, it's a very good summertime blend. Black Irish Twist, I believe, is a perhaps pure Virginia. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong about this. But it's heavily stoved and fermented, and it's in a twist. It's a very dark black tobacco. Very interesting, meaty, oily flavor to it. And number 3, Cornell and Deal Gentleman Caller, and this is from 2020 as well, I believe. Yes, this is also from 2020. This has got a nice bulge in the bottom here, so it's obviously something's been going on in there. Hopefully not mold, because I was just bragging last week about how I never got mold. I believe it did come from KBV, Paul. I don't know how that works, but that's where I think it came from. Gentleman Caller is Virginia, Burley, there's some Perique, and some Deer Tongue. So interesting. Shandygaff is a fine ribbon cut, Danny. It's not quite a shag, if I remember, but I haven't had any since 2015, so I really don't know. He'd commit seppuku if Black Irish Twist gets. Oh, Millennial Codger doesn't like Black Irish Twist. I don't know. Honestly, it's been long enough for all of these that I couldn't even tell you if I like them. But hey, it's the tobacco of the month, so there you have it. So I will go ahead and run the poll, and the way the poll works is I only get to see the leader after the first couple of votes go in, and I'm just going to watch it until that stops changing. So that's how I determine the length of time. Now, can I get the poll running is a question. I think I can. Let's see. Might have to do something. Uh-oh. What in the world is going on there? Oh, that's not what I need. There we go. There we go. Let's get it started. But I'm just seeing myself. I seem to be quite far behind. Okay. Hopefully the poll is up for you now, and you can begin voting. Oh boy, Black Irish Twist took quite a lead. Seriously, by goodness. My goodness, that is dominating. So get your votes in. We'll let it go a short while longer. All right, I think we have settled. And I do believe we have a winner in Black Irish Twist. Now can I get back to the chat somehow? There we go. That seems to have worked. So 63% went with Black Irish Twist. And it was evenly split between Shandygaff and Gentleman Caller. They want to see me squirm. You voted just to troll, huh? Oh, Carrie came in. Hello, Carrie. Good to see you tonight. Waiting on the dance. Go Irish, yes. So Millennial Codger really doesn't like it, huh? All right, so we're going to do some Black Irish Twist tonight. And that's going to... it's going to be a little bit of a logistic problem because it's a rope and I'm going to have to cut it and roll, rub it out and whatnot. But we'll get it done. We'll get it done. So first off, let me get some scissors here. Just to cut this open. Right. Now these bags, these Mylar bags, are not like the ones I was complaining about a while back where they make them so thin that you can actually use the thing. Oh man, that smells amazing. So that is Black Irish Twist. Please don't comment on what it looks like. There's a smaller bit in here that I'll probably work with first. There's a rope tobacco. It's not actually twisted. It's rolled. But now the problem, of course, is I'm going to have to cut this, and I'm completely not prepared for that. But we'll work something out. Not your usual flake knife, but we'll see if we can make it work. And got a jar lid here that I can cut onto. I'm going to try to cut this fine because I'm not going to have time to dry it. I don't often smoke these kinds of tobaccos simply because I don't like fiddling with them. You know, the guys that really enjoy this whole aspect of it, but to me, it's, I don't know. I could just stuff and puff on a bookshelf. So let's see how that goes for this. That ought to be. I'll show you what we got here. That's what we got. And now I'm going to rub that out. Once it's cut like that, it rubs out quite easily. It's not too wet. I think we're going to be okay. We might give this a minute or two to dry. Now we're left with a pile of ribbons. And they are very ribbon-like once you get it sliced and broken up. So it's a very hard, roll coil. Looks like they're going to plug a hole in the tire. To me, it looks like it reminds me of black licorice. Yeah, I'm gonna let it dry for a few minutes because it can be very difficult to keep lit. Tasted like pork chop fat. Interesting. Knife will need a new blade now. Well, it's one of these disposable ones, so that's okay. I'll just snap it off for the next time I want to cut the plug. Actually, I just realized I hope I didn't cut anything weird with that. I have no idea what I had cut with that last time. Oh well. What's the worst that could happen? Famous last words. So we're going to put the Black Irish Twist in a Europe. And this pipe's very special to me because my wife bought this for me when we were at Kramer's Tobacco. She decided that she liked this little jade shank adornment, and she said, "Why don't you get that one?" And I went, "Nah, I'm not going with that one." "Oh, but it's pretty." I said, "No, I'm going to get this one." And she said, "Well, you're getting that one too." She bought it for me. So the only pipe she actually bought for me. That's not true. She bought me another pipe, which is a spray. I'm not forgetting the Killians. Thank you though, Patrick. But I am about halfway through, so we're doing good. Does it smell like smoky barbecue? Asked Peter. It's more leathery, to be honest. Almost like a lot of Kia smell. All right, so I'm going to load this up. I'm going to do it over here so I don't drop it on the floor. But I really am putting it in. I know some of you guys think this is going to be terrible. I don't think it's going to be terrible. It's not to everyone's liking, I know, but to me it's better than smoking an English blend or a Balkan. More pleasurable. Okay. So we got the Black Irish Twist in the pipe, and this is empty. No trickery. Yeah, David, I might just need to do that. Cut it ahead of time. I'm going to use this guy here because Zippo's starting to wane on me a little bit, and this needs to be lit really well. Do I need to eat? Excuse me. Do I need to eat something? Why would I need to eat something? I didn't catch. We need to put a little kindling on top of this to get it going. Big Dave, I don't think it yet reaches the level of copious, but it is some nice smoke, yeah. Mm. I do like that flavor. It's unique. I admit that it's unique and it's not for everybody, but to me it's tasty. Patrick is switching to Watch City American Cup plug and Mirror Poker. Yeah, guys, I'm not some nicotine hero, and I'm just not sensitive to it. It's it's my superpower. Yeah. If I let it dry a little bit longer, Big David, I think it would reach copious. Pike Bro Okie, I've heard of Sutliff Hemingway, and I might have even had it, but I cannot remember anything about it. Oh, that sounds really cool, Paul. Sounds like it was a great trip. I'm thinking about doing that run. That's when I said I might have to put a little kindling on it. That's exactly what I was thinking of doing, but I think it's okay now. Garden is doing well, Big Dave. Um, Actually going to harvest the greens tomorrow, the first time. Our lettuce and our kale, and maybe some of the spinach and arugula, although they're a little bit small still. But definitely the lettuce and the kale can be harvested. And we'll take a third of the plant and then let it grow some more. Tastes like Irish coffee. This Danny or Hemingway? If it's Hemingway, I just don't remember. Um, and if it was an aromatic, I never met a Sutliff aromatic I liked. So where's the shrimp? If we have to do another relight, I might go to the haunted bookshop. Because one of the problems, not switch to it, but add some to the top to get it burning. Brine shrimp. Yes, they're not doing well. I'm just gonna leave it at that. They're not doing well. They crashed during the week. Yeah, that's because they're all dead, Piperoki. There's nothing alive in that thing anymore. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to try to rejuvenate it again because it's gone through like 5 or 6 cycles now. But I think part of the problem might be the shape of the container. Actually, I'm thinking about the surface area for oxygen exchange and stuff. You don't want me to get into it. Yeah, when it's burning, Big Dave, it makes a beautiful smoke. And it's a very rich, creamy smoke. Carries a lot of flavor with it. Yeah, it was funny with so they weren't sea monkeys, they're just brine shrimp. And the reason I draw the distinction is that sea monkeys are a specific strain of brine shrimp. They get much larger. Um, these stay fairly small. But it was interesting because I got them to go through a couple of reproductive cycles because they only last a couple of weeks. And they'd be fine for a while and then the whole thing would just crash. And the interesting thing is if it was something like, the ammonia level had gotten out of balance or something, dropping in some more eggs wouldn't work, but dropping in some more eggs and you get a boom in brine shrimp again. So I don't really know what it is. Ah, see now the smooth piper is going to have some gentleman caller. I could have been having some gentleman caller with you, Peter, but instead I'm smoking this. What you gonna do? Very nice, but I digress. You're not one-upping me at all. Um, it was actually Steph, Farik Piper Skip's better half, who yelled at me once because I said her garden was doing better than mine, and she said, "Never compare your garden to anyone else's garden." And I took that to heart. We all have different conditions, different soil, different weather, and everything else. So, but I'm glad your basil's coming in well. Real seawater might help, Big Dave. I don't know. There's a lot of different things you can try, but old rope smoker sounds like a insult there, Gary. I do think we got it burning now. What I was going to say about relighting was that, and I heard it was John David Cole that pointed this out. I had not heard it prior to him saying this, but one of the problems with frequent relighting is that the the smoke is never hotter than when you're lighting the pipe. So the more you relight it, the more likely you are to burn your tongue. But that was kind of interesting. I believe the rope form of tobacco was developed in order to preserve the tobacco, Big Dave. It was used on Navy vessels. You could store it in a barrel. You could coil it up and store it. And it was also more versatile because it could be used as a chewing tobacco or a smoking tobacco. Oh no, I just increased the font again and it went really, really high. Oh no. I have no idea how I'm doing this. This is a problem. All I did was try to move. Mm, you know what, guys? We're gonna close the chat. It won't affect you. And we're gonna come back over here. I'm gonna zoom out on this. Give me just a minute, guys. I'm going through some technical difficulties here. Uh-oh. What did I just do? Hopefully you can still see me. I'm going to just shut everything down. I don't know. Okay, I think you're still up. I hope you're still up. I'm working very hard to get back to you because I really messed things up here. My apologies for this. I would ask you to let me know if you can still see me, but I can't see anything right now. I've really goobered this up. I'll get there. There. It's coming along. Come on. My apologies, folks. It's going very slowly. I accidentally closed the browser is what happened. But I couldn't read the chat because the font had gone into like 120 point. But it looks like the live stream is still running, so that's good. Now I just got to get to it so that I can see the chat. We're almost there. Where's the darn chat? This is acting really strange, guys. There it is. There it is. I believe we're back. You guys didn't even know I was gone, did you? I don't think stoving it will make a difference, Carrie, because it's already pretty stoved. Who's this guy talking? Thank you, Cole. So I'm just curious, could you hear me that whole time and could you see me that whole time? Because I really did something I didn't think I could recover from. It was a technical tour de force. Christian's still there. I just used French. France. Oh, Steve and Kathy, you have a great night, my friends, and a good weekend too. And thank you again. Okay. Glad I didn't do anything embarrassing. Hey, Dave, the smoke's getting very copious now. But once it gets burning, it's really nice. I don't know, Big Dave. Those volcanoes have been getting ready to erupt for quite a while. You know, Doug, I could probably arrange that. That would be a nice intermission for sure. The mumbling gave you a hint? Yeah, I do mumble. I have a co-op student at work, and she's been doing some lab work, and she was having trouble with it. And I went into the lab earlier this week, and I don't spend very much time in the lab anymore. And I'm trying to fix things, and so I'm there. I'm really focused on what I'm doing, and she keeps saying, "What was that? Excuse me?" And finally, I just had to say, "Listen, I'm sorry, but when I think I mumble, just ignore me." Yeah, I like Gentleman Kohler, Peter. It's a good blend. I prefer Crooner, uh, but the little bit of added Perique is very nice in Gentleman Kohler. I should play the song in memory of the Sea Monkeys. We already did the Doug Owens song, Piper Okie. Let's give the other one a break. And I'm disappointed Mushroom Leg didn't show up tonight because I put the video description in just for him. Boxes and boxes of Italian cigars. Oh, those Toscanos are wonderful, Paul. Well, Cole, I definitely fit one of those two categories. You guys are upset about the sea monkeys. I mean, come on. They only live for 2 weeks. Like even under perfect conditions, they only live for 2 weeks. So Flint Hill, I don't know if they have a soul. Uh, I don't want to go into that. Big Dave, they are visible. The sea monkeys, actual monkeys, are clearly visible with the naked eye. No question. The brine shrimp, they are, but you have to really look to see them because they're quite small. But they are there. It's not mumbling, it's a board meeting. Indeed, by Ron 45. Good to see you, buddy. You know, the whole sea monkey family was a handsome group, weren't they, Big Dave? Couch, they were all named after you. In fact, the whole big vial of eggs, I just named Couch. Just got it all over with at once. You know, sea monkeys actually have a really interesting history. The guy that came up with the idea for them, I mean, he actually selectively bred them and all that, and he wanted to come up with a pet that he could sell through the mail. And he sold a lot of weird things. He was this very unusual inventor guy that would come up with these things he could, and you know, he had really hit it big with the sea monkeys. But he's also he had some problems. Um, he was a bit of a, well, I'm not going to say the word because it may be worse than that other word. It may be worse than that Ritz word we were talking about. But yeah, his political views were not consistent with modern thought, and it's just kind of interesting that all these kids are playing with the sea monkeys and they're being sold by this guy who was pro genocide. No, it wasn't Ron Popeil. Where have I been? Asked Paul Johnson. So furthest I've been has been New Zealand. Been all over the U.S. Not every state, but a lot of states. European countries, or Puerto Rico was a place, but European countries have been to France, Belgium, England, Germany. Seems like I'm missing something. Italy, Italy several times. Did I say England? England several times. We used to have a site in just outside of London, and I went there a lot. Um, but for a while, we were doing a collaboration with this country in Belgium, and I was going once a month, and that went on for a couple of years. That was a rough time because I was traveling more than I was home. Between that and going to conferences, and it was rough. Yeah, Big Dave, but I don't think that was his real name. I think he actually changed his name. Look it up. There's a couple of YouTube videos on it, and I think the Wikipedia page goes into quite a bit of detail on it. It's an interesting story. And of course, he's long gone and can't defend himself, so we got to keep that in mind. But all of that aside, he was a brilliant businessman to come up with this idea. I mean, who would have thought that you could sell brine shrimp to kids and it would turn into a you know massive business? I broke in business, I'll tell you what, I've got an actual batch of sea monkeys that I've been meaning to bring to life at some point, and I'm thinking the problem with this might have been the shape of the container. So I was thinking about bringing that set down here and actually setting it up as sea monkeys. So maybe I'll do that for you guys, and then you can actually see the real sea monkeys. Would that make you happy? Would that make you feel better, all you guys that are missing the brine shrimp? But I digress. You knew the guy that invented silly string? That is cool. Uh, Toothbrush impregnated with toothpaste already. That's an interesting idea. You would think, Doug, you would think they'd be salty enough, but I think we're getting close to the bottom here, but I'm hoping that I can get a few more puffs out of it. What are we doing on time? Well, we're getting close to time, aren't we? I suppose I could do that, James, but I probably won't. Oh, I plugged it. Darn it. Nah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this going again. The ash is plugging it. Maybe. $195 patents, and he invented the X-ray glasses, which of course were not X-ray glasses, but so Doug only wants pipe smoking sea monkeys. I'll see what I can do, Doug. No, Piper Okie, please don't set up a GoFundMe. All right. Paul Sea Monkey Rap is going to light a fern down root billiard with some hood canal. Very nice. Doug, that's a sad thing. It would probably make money, but let's not do that. You know, Big Dave, I never thought of that because in fifth grade, I believe all of my teachers were nuns. Well, you know what, Ghost Rider? The odd thing is, as I was getting into this, I did a little bit of YouTube searching, and there are channels that are entirely dedicated to sea monkeys. And there are guys that have like 20 and 30 sea monkey tanks. It's bizarre. Yes, Gary, we could really sell the tragedy. You're right. We'd probably make a lot of money. You guys are scaring me now. You know, that's interesting, but I digress. I didn't actually spend much time in the cities in New Zealand. We were on the, I believe it's the Northern Island, the island that Hook first landed on, and we saw a lot of like Maori villages and that sort of thing. So it was more uh, forests and lakefronts and stuff like that. Than but we did spend a day, well, part of a day in what is it, Christchurch? Is that the big town? And there, the architecture, now that you're mentioning it, was definitely Art Deco. So yes, that is really interesting. How did I pack the bowl? The way I always pack the bowl, creator. Uh, lightly and then a little bit more firmly and then more firmly yet. A three-step process. Schrodinger's sea monkey. Guys, I never had an attractive teacher that I can remember. Oddly enough. When I got into college, that was a different story, especially the graduate assistants. There you go, David G. They will be family in time. I would say watching sea monkeys is a little bit less interesting than watching nesting bald eagles, Big Dave. A little bit less. Yeah, Cole, I think they tend to be thicker cuts, so it's a little bit harder to get them burning because of that. It's not just the moisture. It's the problem, Couch. The attractive ones are always crazy, but the not so attractive ones are crazy too. Are you serious, James? She took that. That is funny. She passed out pictures of herself. That is really funny. Yeah, John, you really are. You got your interests, and you're devoted, and I admire that. Well, folks, I have hit the bottom of the bowl here. The Black Irish Twist was a success, in my opinion, and I will continue to enjoy this. Try to do every day. I don't know if I'll be able to, just because it takes a little bit more time and effort, but we'll smoke it frequently during the month for sure. And towards the end of the month, I'll do a impressions video one Sunday and tell you what I think about it. Viva la sea monkeys. Really? A Rams cheerleader was a school teacher? My goodness, times have changed. I think your uncle was a wise man, Cole. Ah, well, we've gone a little over time. I still have a little, despite Patrick's admonition, so I'm still a little behind here. I guess that's one of the things that I missed out on by not having kids was getting to meet cheerleaders. Big Dave's not a lech, it's just ice cream. Sorry, Big Dave. Uh, the nuns that I knew, Creator, it would be hard to know because they were completely covered. I mean, we can only see their face, and a lot of them were quite old, to be honest. I think I've told the story before, but I had a nun, I believe her name was Sister Florence, and while she was teaching, and she was mean, she was like everybody was terrified of her. Um, and while she was teaching me math, she celebrated her 75th anniversary of being a nun. So I believe at the time you had to be 16. So that would have meant she was what, 90 something? And she had been teaching children, grade school children, math for all those years. And you wonder why she might have been a little short-tempered. Uh, yeah. But I've said it before. I am very grateful to the sisters because they were hard on me. They disciplined me for sure. But I believe that I'm the man I am today because of the things they taught me when I was a young boy. So always been grateful for that. I know it's easy to make fun of them. It's easy to talk about them hitting you with a ruler and all that stuff, but they had a hard job and they accomplished it. Yes, a moment of silence for all the poor sea monkeys. Very, very sad. I'll see what I can do about the true sea monkey tank. Probably not going to be this week. In fact, I got some other stuff I want to do before I do that, but sometime in the coming months we'll get the sea monkeys. Well, folks, with that, I think we're going to draw this to a close. I am on my last swig here. So it was a lot of fun tonight. We talked about things I did not think we'd talk about. We smoked a tobacco that I did not think we'd smoke because I thought you guys would choose something else, but that's okay. That's the reason we have the tobacco of the month the way we have it. So thank you for being involved in that. Thank you for joining me and making this night as enjoyable as it has been. So with that, guys, I hope you all take care of yourselves. I'll be back on Sunday with a video, and we'll be back next Friday. So until then, take care all, and I'll see you soon.